Hi, Dr. J here. Last week we talked about the importance of faith in your life in regards to faith in something bigger than yourselves, faith in a greater power working their hand in your day, in your week, in your year, in your life, and hopefully in order to help others. We talked about the role of fear and how fear actually is the antithesis or the opposite of faith. And it's really important when we start talking about how do you cultivate a faith muscle? How do you cultivate inner certainty? For me personally, I've used others as examples, people that were faced against immense challenges. I mean, we think about it, many of the amenities that we have in our home and our life were made or invented by people who faced immense odds, that were criticized or said they could never do these things, whether it be our cars that we drive and the ridicule and the negativity that Henry Ford faced upon trying to develop the car, or Edison and his thousands and thousands of times of trying to invent a light bulb, and he was told just to give it up, but he didn't. He persevered. He had faith inside himself, and he had a belief inside himself that he could achieve these things. And it's truly our challenges. It's truly the times that we're kicked down, the times that when life really beats us down, you have an option. And that option is to succumb to that event, to succumb to that challenge, to allow that fear to overwhelm you, or you have an opportunity to allow that to strengthen you, allow that pressure to compress you enough where you become forged in greatness and you become forged in inner strength. And it doesn't have to be things that maybe revolutionize the world, like developing an iPhone or developing a plane or a car. But it's small on some level, but it's significant to you. And here's what I mean by that is, personally speaking, some of you out there who know me personally, or friends or family, that I lost my father in 2001 to cancer. But in March of 2000, of the year prior to, I'm getting the diagnosis that my dad had cancer. I was halfway across the country. Most of my family was back in the New York area, and I was in St. Louis, Missouri area. And I was recently transplanted there, so I didn't have anyone. And I get this devastating news that I knew that was going to, on some level, change my life. And I had a choice at that moment. And the moment was this: I can allow this to collapse me and destroy me and pack up and go back home and not face this thing head on. Or I could decide that this was being placed in front of me for a reason, to have faith beyond something that I could see or something that I could comprehend, that in some way, shape, or form, this was here to bless me, to bless my family, and to bless others. And personally, that's the route that I chose to take. And I'll tell you this: it wasn't an easy route, but it's one that I'm so glad that I did take, because that event has taught me so much in my life that it's been able to literally spread into almost every single area of my life since that time. There's not one thing that I do or that I could say I quote unquote accomplished that isn't a direct or an indirect result of some of the things I went through during that time frame. So I want to share with you my belief on what it's going to take to really develop inner strength, inner certainty, and build what I call faith muscle. The first thing is stillness. You got to get quiet. I alluded to this in our last video. You've got to get away from the noise of life. When my dad was diagnosed with cancer, immediately my roommate gave me a hug because he saw I was distraught after I got off the phone with my mom. And I went to church. I didn't know what to do, but I knew exactly what to do. It's funny, right? So I literally went to church. Church was empty. It was the middle of the day. It was on a Wednesday, I believe. And I just went and I sat in this church. And I was there for several hours by myself. And I got quiet. The rest of the world was going on outside of that church at a frantic pace, but I had to stop and slow myself down, gather myself, collect myself, and really just allow my mind and allow my heart to align and be able to just think through what needed to be done, to visualize what I thought was going to have to happen, whether the outcome was great or the outcome was disastrous and we lost my dad. I had to get clarity as to what that approach is. So regardless of what you're dealing with, whatever you're going through in your life, large or small, doesn't matter. It's your journey. You got to get still, get quiet, get away from the noise. Think about what you want your goal to be, or think about what the vision of what you want to have happen. What's the outcome that you're looking for? How are you going to handle yourself if good or bad happen? And then ironically, the next thing you got to do, the second thing, is take massive action. Weird, right? So you got to be still, quiet, clarify your vision, and then you got to take massive action. Because the moment you take action in the face of your fears, the moment you take action in the face of things that you're scared of, you slowly but surely develop confidence. Now, I'm kind of an all or none guy, so sometimes I just jump off the ledge, but that's not everyone. What I mean by that is this: even if it's just one step closer to your goal, to your dream, to your vision. Maybe it's just telling that person that you love, hey, I love you, one time. Or you write them a note. Or you save an extra $1 or $2 of this week's paycheck to help your financial health. Or maybe you're going to drink some more water and work on walking 5 or 10 minutes this week to improve your physical health. Whatever it is, take a massive action, or take a small or a massive action in the direction of your dream, and resist being captive by fear. So again, in recap, you have to face your fears, hands down. Don't allow them to break you, but instead allow them to build you up. And the way you do that is first, get still, get clear in your head and your heart. And then second, take massive or even small action, but take action in the direction of your dream. I hope this helps and blesses some of you today, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Take care.